The Vikings in Scotland were mostly restricted to the coastal areas of the country. The Scots obviously recognising the need to keep those big, meaty Norse fuckers on the outside and nowhere near the middle where they could do the most damage. Despite this, Norse influence was significant in Scotland. At the end of the 11th century, the Scots King Edgar granted to the Norwegians all of the lands west of the mainland that they could negotiate with a boat, resulted in the Norwegian King Magnus sitting in his boat and having his men lift it up and carry the boat across the Kintyre Peninsula so that he could claim it for Norway. He had people carry him across land that definitely didn't belong to him. He was like the royal family visiting a Commonwealth country. By the middle of the 13th century, Norse influence in Scotland was waning, mostly due to great Celtic warlords such as Somerled in the Western Isles. Somerled fought off the Vikings and installed himself as the Lord of the Isles, which was actually a position that I myself was able to hold down when I worked in Tesco's. I mean, you know, they called it customer assistant. I called it Lord of the Isles. The clans MacDonald, MacDougall and McAllister can all trace their lineage back to Somerled, as can apparently over 500,000 people, which places Somerled just behind Genghis Khan and Boris Johnson in terms of men who have spread their seed the furthest. With so much Celtic influence in the Western Islands, the Scottish King Alexander III wanted to buy them back for Scotland, but the Norwegian King Hakon refused. Instead, he sent the largest foreign invasion force ever sent to Scotland. Hakon's fleet were anchored just off the coast here at Largs when a great storm blew a lot of his ships onto the shore, and those ships were then harried and looted by the Scots army. The following day, on the 2nd of October 1263, something more akin to a battle broke out on the shores here at Largs. And it was a battle that the Scots won, and it's a battle that is forever immortalised with this big bobby-shaped war memorial behind me, proving that on that day, the Scots bobby was bigger than Norwegian bobby. Hakon escaped to the safety of Orkney, where he then died. In the aftermath of his death, Alexander III was able to get the Western Isles back for Scotland through the Treaty of Perth, which has been hailed as one of the most impressive diplomatic achievements in medieval history. In the Treaty of Perth, Alexander III got what he wanted, the islands, the west of Scotland, and Magnus was able to save face by maintaining Orkney and the Shetland Islands for Norway. Norway had been completely and utterly humiliated in Scotland, but they still somehow managed to hold on to Orkney and the Shetland Islands. They were like the Lib Dems in that respect. Anyway, Largs is a lovely wee coastal town in North Ayrshire, still very proud of its Viking heritage and the Battle of Largs that happened here in 1263.